Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome to Solidworks tutorial. In this video I will try to cover all the things in Solidworks features that involve Extrude boss base. So if you are extremely new to Solidworks, this is the part interface that is currently open, as you can see on the top, but you can rename it later. But the part interface generally has features and sketch as this primary tab or attribute. So if you don't know how to open this interface, just go to new after installing SolidWorks. So it has three of these things as a general overlay. It's part, assembly and drawing. So a part is a 3D representation of a single design component. Assembly is an arrangement of those parts, and the drawing is a two-dimensional representation of part or the assembly. So I have mine open, but if you don't, you can just click new and select part, click OK. I'm just going to cancel that. So next is we want to have a sketch. Now to draw a sketch, you have to click sketch. You can do it two ways, either select the plane beforehand and then enter sketch, or if you don't, you want to open this small window and you'll see that there's the same icon that is there, sketch icon. Click that. So if you haven't done one of those two things, just if you enter sketch, it's going to ask you select a plane in which you want to start a sketch. So it's either a plane or a face. You can sketch on a plane or a face, and we're going to do both in this video. So right now I want you to select a plane, wherein IPS, one thing that I should mention is the units that we're using. You can use millimeter or inches. I'm just going to stick with inches. It's for American clients, so whenever they request something, they would usually select inches, feet or pounds. Rest of the world would follow millimeters, grams, second. But I usually work in millimeters, but it's not important right now. What's important is I want you to understand some important things about Extrude. So go ahead and select this center rectangle. As you can see, if you push the small arrow next to the rectangle icon, you can see the various types of rectangles that you can select. Center rectangle. Now the relation is the small icon that is next to the pencil, next to the small rectangle icon. So when you hover close to the origin, you will see these small dotted lines, the blue dotted lines. They give a representation of a relation that's going to be if you start sketching there. So a solid relation is yellow, and if you just go over this origin, you will see that it turns orange, the tip of the pencil, and the next to the rectangle icon there is a small box that has the coincident icon. So click that, drag it out, and click once more. Hit escape. So to dimension this, what you can do is go to Smart Dimension, or just right click and slightly move your mouse. That would pop up this customize mouse gestures, so you can just do that, or hit escape, just go to smart dimensions. So as you can see, it's underdefined. The center is locked to the origin, but the dimension, as long as you don't give a dimension, it can be dragged and anywhere. So if you give this dimension, it will lock it into place. It would be a fully defined object, so 10 inches, and give it around, oh, I'm sorry, 10 inches. Hit F to focus it. Actually, this dimension is, I guess, 5 inches. If I do that, it will be the width, and this would be the length, because we're currently sketching in the top plane. One thing to keep in mind is which plane that you are sketching in and what's the outcome that you desire. Hit OK. Okay, now we have a fully defined rectangle. Now go to features, and the first option that you see, extrude boss base, and my sketch is selected. Make sure that your sketch is highlighted blue, and then extrude. When you extrude, it's going to give you the normal to plane and ask how much you want to give the dimension. So if you look at the center, there's this arrow. If you just hold right click and drag it up, sorry, okay, let me just do that again. Extrude, there, I was clicking somewhere else, I guess. So it gives you an exact value, and you can precisely give it a amount, how much you want to extrude. Scroll up to zoom out using your middle mouse scroll, and I want, let's see, I want around, it's just a mock-up, it's nothing out of very accurate drawings. I just want some mock-ups. So 12, I want an exact 12. It can be tricky sometimes because I have to have so much control, and if you are working with faulty equipment or a mouse that just goes like this, so you won't be able to do it. The other way is to give it an exact value is just type in around the dimension. So the options that we have with the plane are blind and midplane, because we don't have any other vertex or surface or body. So either it's blind from the surface in a direction, whichever you want, or midplane. What midplane does is distributes the total value of the extrude over the top and the bottom of the plane. So always normal. Okay, hit OK from the tick on the top right or the small OK button. I just want to visualize what it looks like. Okay, so that was sketching on the plane and extruding. Now we want to sketch on this face on the top of the box. So go to sketch and hit sketch. Now it's going to take the origin and it's going to place it on top of the plane. So if you press spacebar, this big window would appear. So it's helpful, but it slows down your PC. So if you want to turn it off, you can look it up. but I like it. It's very aesthetic and gives this nice appeal to SolidWorks. So just select this plane top, or you can use this icon. This is also top. So what it would do is give it normal to. So we're seeing normal to the top face. Now take a circle. As you can see, there's options of perimeter circle or a simple circle. So again, the relation that you see is coincident, which is the center, and just give it around, dimension it 2 inches. That's too low. I want to have it 2.5. 3 giving us, yeah, that looks about okay. I'm still in sketches, you can see, but you can still use the features. So hit extrude again. It's going to give you, I'm holding down the middle mouse button, and what that does is gives you a axis rotation. So what you want now, SolidWorks is a very smart tool because it remembers the last input that you've put in. We put the 12, so for the next entity it's going to remember that. So I don't want 12 for this, obviously. 2 inches is good. Now I think you can identify what I'm trying to make in this object, in this file, a simple mock-up that you see that it's later going to be imported to Photoshop, and we're going to put in some of the brand stickers or the embossing, whatever they want. So this is the bottom part of the bottle. Use this fillet on the edges. You can see I didn't select that edge almost. Alright. One of the cool things about SolidWorks, it's a smart tool. So if I want to get that edge, the one on the back, I can just simply hover there and it's going to highlight. So as you can see, I'm not rotating it around and selecting it. I'm just eyeballing it where it should be and then just selecting that. So it's going to automatically select that edge. So I want a fillet of, let's say, half an inch. Alright, and that would give us beautiful. It's in shape, right? Alright, so you want something else in this, something that gives it a very nice feel. Alright, okay, so now it's there. I'm using just the click features other than the extrude. Sorry. My throat's a bit groggy today. So the features I'm telling you, like this fillet and this shell, are just, you have to select something and it would just do that. Gives a shell body, so it doesn't go right through it, just distributes it evenly. So that's cool, I think. Okay, so if I want something fancy with this, like revolve like a ball on top of there. So let's try that. So let's see what we can do. We have these planes that we can use. Let's use this plane, front plane. Go to sketch and hit space. This button gives the normal to what we're sketching. So there's that. What we want to do, we want to sketch a semicircle. Let's just sketch a circle. As you can see, the dotted line appears, which gives the center of the origin. So I'm just going to use this top as the... So let's just go a little above. Take it again. No, to log that right about here. I don't want a very big ball. Don't want a very little ball. I just want a spherical ball on top. Alright. Go normal. Okay, select this line. It gives you those diameter points. Hit that and that. Alright. Now I will tell you something interesting about the next feature that I'm going to tell you about. So for this feature, revolve, basically it requires two things. It requires an axis and a body. So if you select this line as the axis and this arc as the body, you're going to get this beautiful ball on top. It's still undefined, and I can tell why, because we didn't lock it to the origin and we didn't give it a dimension. So I'm going to do both of those things, giving it a dimension of 2. I was just looking of how it looks, and from this point to the origin we're going to have 7.5. Alright, there, whatever, just you have to be comfortable with how you're using the software. So that gives a lid, and I can take it off, you know, give it its proper feel of a lid around and glass sitting on top. Alright, so also I'm use this appearance to give it an appearance of glass. You can use the rendering softwares like Keyshot or maybe an Unreal Engine. Just convert it to a step file and then use that. But simple things, you want to use one interface and you want to get close to the end as possible. So glass. As you can see, there's a lot of options here. Gloss, textured, thick gloss. Oh my god. Gloss. Let's just try this. And it's asking where do you want it. You want the face, the extrude, the entire body, the entire part. Alright, so we're gonna take the entire body and treat that as a separate one. Alright, that's looking nice. Let's see what else we have. Right, I haven't saved it, so it's notifying me to save the document, which is good. You should save it. Just hit that. It's going to ask you what you want. I don't know where it's saving it, just saving it. I'll find it later. It's not good practice to do that. You should know where you're saving your documents. So other thing that I want to have some sandblasted. Let's try that for the revolve. Okay, it looks nice. Okay, good mock-up. I'm going to change that. The client is definitely going to say to enlarge in that, but for the mock-up we just want a simple, and we don't want too much of our time wasted because we don't know if it's going to be finalized. Maybe he or she doesn't like the design or the shape, so we change that quickly and then send again. Another thing that I'm going to tell you finally is a short rendering tip. Go to Solidworks add-in, and if it's not enabled, right click on any tab. Let me just go to tabs and then select the SolidWorks add-ins. The add-ins include this. All of these are very useful in their own accord. If we just go to Photo View 360, you will see this render tools. You can select this and then give an integrated view to see what the final product is going to look like. It may take some time depending on the speed of your system. Okay, so yeah, it looks nice. Turn it off. I really want to see what it's doing, so hit that final render and it'll open this render box. It's going to open this. Looks really neat. I like to see it sometimes, you know, it looks really fancy rendering like that. You know, it's taking a lot of time, but it gives you a really nice effect and a really nice integrated view, and you can save the document for your later use. But I suggest using Visualize or Keyshot for the serious renderings that you want. This is just for your own visualization or the small mock-ups that you don't want too much time spent on. It quickly gives you an idea of what the product is, how it's going to look, how it's going to, fit in. I should have selected a background as well, but I didn't, so it changes the color and the material changes with respect to the background. I'm going to save that image. And then let's name it anything. Alright, BOT bottle. Alright, E. I'm going to see how that looks. Desktop renderings. Alright, so it's in desktop renderings. Open a JPEG image to see. Looks nice. The fillets are nice. The features look clean. A very overall simple but elegant bottle. So that's it for today. If you like it, hit subscribe and hit the bell icon, so whenever I post something new, you get to see it firsthand. And I am really excited about doing this as a full-time CAD expert or designer. It's really interesting, and SolidWorks has a lot to teach, and I have a lot to show you. See you soon, and leave a comment what you want to see in the future videos. What else do you want to see, other mock-ups or similar things? So thank you, bye bye.